craziest? Well, if you'd asked me this last year, it'd be really easy. Because I'm looking at him right now.
Oh my god.
I was the winner of that, hands down.
And if they have the front door key, and
was attached to my door.
Brilliant.
Craziest thing that I've ever done with Netflix is I didn't sleep for a day and a half because I was watching Money Heist. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and I'm now into Season 4.
Hello and welcome to the Petronas Sepang Racing Team online quiz, Lockdown. This week it's a Petronas 2 meets 4 special edition with a 5-round matchup, MotoGP versus Formula 1. Don't forget, previous episodes of Lockdown are available on our Facebook page. Thank you to everybody who watched and gave us comments. Now, for this week's quiz, let's meet the contestants.
Contestant number 1 is the 2017 Moto2 World Champion and rider of Petronas Yamaha Sepang Racing Team in MotoGP.
Frankie, great to see you here again. What's news from you? What have you been up to?
Well, the news is that we started living again. So we started enjoying a normal life, let's say. So we started to go out a little bit more. I started to go to the gym, and I started to have longer walks outside from a house. So everything is getting back to more normal, and this is positive.
So more normal, does that include jumping on a bike and remembering which lever does what?
Well, yes. It's 3 weeks now that we've been riding, and we've been riding a lot, after such a big stop. When you start again, you really want to ride some stuff, doesn't matter what. And so these 3 weeks we've been riding a lot because we had a big we were wanting to ride,
Absolutely. Now, we have today a Formula 1 driver joining us. What's your interest as an Italian what's your interest in Formula 1?
Well, I love Formula 1. I follow them every race they do. I love 4 wheels. I have a go-kart myself, and I try to be fast on that as well. And I love the drivers. Of course, I follow Lewis and Valtteri more than others, and I cheer for them when they're racing.
If the chance come up, would you jump in an F1 car and have a go?
Of course, no problem for me.
And just for any F1 fans that are watching, can we clarify that there's no relation between you and the F1 driver Gianni Morbidelli or the Morbidelli MotoGP setup? There's no link.
No link.
Have you met him?
Never. I've seen some races of him.
Yeah.
He was with Gran Turismo or something like that now, I think. But I never met him.
Okay. Thank you, Frankie. Now, shall we meet Frankie's rival for today's quiz?
Contestant number 2 is a Formula 1 driver for Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula 1 team.
Valtteri, thank you for joining us. Good to see you here. Tell us, what have you been up to since you so very nearly started your F1 season in Australia? What have you been doing?
Yeah, good to see you too, both. And it was a bit of a shock because everyone was already in Melbourne for the first race, and you wake up on Friday morning of the race weekend with news that you have to go home. It's quite surreal. And obviously then got back to Europe. Things were starting to kind of lock down where I live in Monaco. So then I decided to go to Finland So I spent actually two months in Finland and could do plenty of driving and outdoor stuff and things like this. So I think it was a good place to be for that time. And eventually, I think 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, went back to Monaco, and I think life is getting pretty normal, so things are pretty well open and can do lots of things, so that's kind of nice. So I think from my side, I was quite lucky that I was not involved in like a proper lockdown at any point. I managed to kind of escape that.
Yeah, you escaped that and you were out driving and things, but tell us, what's your relationship with two wheels, either with an engine or without? Do you like motorbikes? Do you like MotoGP?
I do like bikes. I've always had bikes when I was a kid. I did a little bit of motocross and always had motorbikes, and it's good fun. It's a very different way of driving, of course, and big respect, for the guys. I can only imagine, how it's all about the fine details, like for us in driving, but in different way. And for me, also with two wheels, I love cycling. Cycling is a big thing. Mountain biking and road cycling is big passion for me. So that's also good fun.
Excellent. Now, MotoGP was supposed to be going to your homeland this year. We were supposed to be there in Finland. How big is the enthusiasm for motorsport in Finland? And, can we expect to welcome you to a MotoGP in the future? It'd be great to see you there.
Yeah, it's a big motorsport country, Finland. So there's lots of fans for any form of motorsport, either two wheels or four wheels. So that's why people were really looking forward to the MotoGP in Finland at Kymi Ring, because I'm pretty sure it would have been fully packed and with good atmosphere. And yes, I would have loved to visit, but hopefully next year will be a chance to, see the race there or somewhere else. And I was lucky to be actually while I was in Finland, I got to drive on that track. So cool.
Any secret tips? What's the track like? Or what would it be like on a bike, and what's it like in a car?
In a car, I really liked it. Obviously, I haven't tried with a bike. It's quite technical, and it definitely gives a challenge, and maybe even more challenging for bikes than cars. So there's both high-speed sections and twist sections, and actually quite a bit of elevation as well, which is quite nice. So I'm pretty sure it's going to challenge the riders a lot. So.
We're really looking forward to going there, hopefully next year. So thank you, Valtteri. Those are the contestants, and you can learn more about Frankie on our website, sepangracingteam.com, and you can find out more about Valtteri on Mercedes-AMG F1.com. Now it's time for our fan question section. So, fan questions, where one fan will get a Petronas Yamaha Sepang Racing Team cap, and one fan will get a Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team cap. Frankie, first, questions for you. First is from Instagram, and it's quite a nice question, this, from @LeoASF98. Frankie, what's your favourite corner?
What's my favorite corner? Turn 3, Phillip Island.
And 3, Phillip Island. Nice. Okay.
Stone
Tell us about
corner.
that.
Well, it's a left-hander. It's a really fast left-hander with a sort of a hump before going in. So you're going in almost at 200 and something k's per hour, and you have to tip in the bike while you control the wheelie on this hump. And moreover, it's an open point of the track, so a lot of wind is coming from the pole, let's say, and so you're fighting with the wind, you're fighting with the wheelie, and still you have to tip in the bike at 200 k's per hour, and you have to nail it good, because it's quite a key corner for the track, and it's a really high adrenaline corner, so I love it.
It sounds awesome, and we know Phillip Island is a great place to visit, even when it delivers weather like it did last year. It's a superb track. Okay, thank you. Okay, so next question for you, Frankie, is from Instagram again, at niz.ly. What do you do to release the tension before a race? How do you get that trademark Frankie Zen before a race?
Well, usually I don't try to release the tension. I just because I think it helped me during the race. So it helps me to do things properly, more. I am more concentrated if I'm tense or I'm ready. I'm more ready. So I just try to deal with it until the red light comes off, and when the red lighting is gone and you're on another thing, So I don't try to release it. I don't try to do something to release it because I hate and I love the feeling of it, So it's a nice thing at the end. So
that's a very good answer there. Thank you, Frankie. I think we will give the cap to the corner question because that was a great description going around that turn 3 at Phillip Island. Now we go to Valtteri. Valtteri, first question for you is from Instagram from Plumby94. And the question is, hey, Valtteri, just how many miles or kilometers have you cycled during the past couple of months? How much have you been on your bike?
Yeah, I was actually the other day looking at the total kilometers, and obviously I do other training as well, not only cycling. So I do running and gym and some speed and skill and some specific training for my sport. But cycling wise, it's been on average just over 1,000 kilometers per month, which is a lot more than I used to have, for example, 2 years ago. So I've been definitely doing more cycling than running lately. So, and I do really love it. So it's good fun.
Excellent, nice. And is that on road or off road? What's the kind of balance between the two?
Both. When I was in Finland, I did a bit more mountain biking, but when I'm in Monaco, the road cycling there is great with the mountains and so many options.
Yeah, good. There's that famous stage where you test yourself before you go and do the Tour de France. So we won't ask you for your time there, but I'm sure it can be found out. Next question is from Twitter, and it's from Soph Something. And it is, I remember you had a special edition helmet prepared for Australia. Are we going to see you finally wear that or use any other one-off designs this season?
Good question. I never unfortunately got to use that special helmet because there was no Australian race, but maybe next year I can use even that or something similar. For now, I haven't planned anything for special. Obviously, our calendar is kind of confirmed for the first eight races, which are only in Europe. And then we see if there's any other that I would feel that would need something special. But for now, I'll start with the standard one.
Very good. And I think because I have a love of cycling myself, we'll give the cap to the first question, Plumby94. Okay.
Here, actually.
Never leave home without it. Fantastic. All right. I'm sure we can get you to sign it before it's sent to Plumby94. That would be fantastic. Okay. Fan questions are over, which means we now go into round one. So this is the Come Alive in 7 Seconds challenge, brought to you by Petronas Sprinter, the official engine lubricant for Petronas Yamaha Sepang Racing Team. Here, each contestant is given 7 seconds to give as many answers as possible on a topic they hopefully know well. Frankie, you're first. You have 7 seconds to give us as many Italian Formula One drivers as possible. Go.
Fisichella, Vitantonio Liuzzi,
I think this is an appalling scoring. And when we built this up, and you'll see from when we asked Valtteri, when we asked Valtteri, there are so many Italian Formula One drivers. You know,
Really?
so many you could have done. So many you could have done. We'll let you go and research on Wikipedia after this. Valtteri, we're going to ask you, and we hope you score better than Frankie on this one. We're going to ask you how many you can name Finnish Formula One drivers.
Valtteri Bottas, Mika Häkkinen, Keke Rosberg, Kimi Räikkönen, Heikki Kovalainen, JJ Lehto, Mika Salo.
Okay, that's brilliant. Yeah, perfect. And I'm very happy that and also disappointed that you gave yourself first, because that was, if you'd not said yourself, I was going to throw that back at you and say, you missed the most important, but you got it. So we like that. Okay, so that is round one over. And needless to say, it's an early lead for Valtteri. He managed to deliver 1 driver per second, so 7 drivers means 7 points. Frankie's made a bit, he stumbled off the line, 2 points, so it's going to be interesting going into round 2. This round is brought to you by Petronas Premax, the official fuel of Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team, as well as official fuel for Moto2 and Moto3. And it's called Move Like Never Before. Here we want to explore the potential for Frankie to jump into an F1 car and Valtteri to jump onto a MotoGP bike. Valtteri, you're first. 3 questions about a MotoGP bike. What's the weight of a Yamaha YZR M1 MotoGP bike? How much does it weigh?
170 kilos.
That's a very, 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 very good guess. I think you've been doing your homework there. So 157 kilos, which is about 600 kilos lighter than the current F1 car. So yeah, that's a good answer. We like that. We'll give you, strong award for that. What is the horsepower delivered for that MotoGP bike? How much power?
$300 horsepower.
Close. 240. 300 would be quite something, I think. At 240. Delivered at about 18,000 RPM, so it's probably about
for that weight. So
yeah, probably about a quarter the power of an F1 car, but a very different experience. Now, finally, this is one for you. What is the average contact patch from the tires on a MotoGP bike? Size,
I would say 4 centimeters and 10 centimeters, 4 by 10.
That's not a bad guess. I mean, the info we get from Michelin is around the size of a credit card, and then Pirelli tell us that for a Formula One car, it's around the size of a A4 sheet of paper. So very good answers. So I'm liking what Valtteri's saying. I think you could jump on a MotoGP bike. You've got good technical knowledge as well. So I think we'll give you 10 points. A strong score for that round. Very strong score. Maybe we'll get you into Finland as a wildcard rider. Frankie, questions for you now. How many buttons or switches on a Formula One car steering wheel?
Switches as well.
Yeah.
100. 100.
No, in terms of buttons or actual mechanism, so one switch, let's give you a hand here. So one dial, not each setting, just count that as well.
So 20.
That's not bad. 25. And there's a good video online from last year with Valtteri talking us through a steering wheel. Although not talking about this year's special mechanism on the steering wheel this year, Valtteri can push forwards and pull backwards for some very special magic. Next question, Frankie. What do you need to start a Formula One car? And we'll give you 3 options so you can guess. Do you need a key?
Mhm.
Do you need 6 people, a laptop, and yourself, a driver? Or is it 20 people, a laptop, and a driver?
20 people, a laptop, and a driver.
Not quite that many. We reckon about 6 people it needs. So, but MotoGP bike, we're looking at 2 people to start, just as a contrast. And final question to try. Let's see what you can get here. Sepang International Circuit, a track you know very well. For a Formula One car, what's the downforce level? Are we talking high, low, or somewhere in between?
If Sepang is a high, medium, or low downforce track for them,
Yeah.
I guess it is medium downforce track.
I think that's a good answer. Yeah, I think that's a good answer. You've got those big long straights, but you've got quite a lot of twisty bits. So yeah, medium downforce. I think though, you stumbled on the starting it. We let you with the steering wheel, so I think we'll give you 8 points. 8 points. We know you've got to make a deficit back, so we'll give you 8 points for that round. That leaves us at the end of round 2 with Valtteri still a great lead. He's got 17 points. Frankie, all to do, 10 points. But we go now into round 3. Round 3 is brought to you by title sponsor of Petronas Sepang Racing Team and Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One Team, Petronas. And it's called The Energy Within. Here we want to hear what our contestants think is a skill set required to do the other person's job. So let's start with Frankie. What do you think the skills, top 3 skills needed to be a Formula One driver?
Well, good vision, maybe good vision. You have to respond quickly to things, and you have to be smart in order to set up your car as good as you can.
Valtteri will ask you, what do you think to Frankie's answers? So good vision, good responses, reactions, and good intelligence. Sounds exactly like yourself.
Yes, I think there were very good points that you definitely need.
Excellent. So full 10 points there for Frankie. Valtteri, now what do you think are the top 3 skills needed to be a good MotoGP rider?
Good physical condition, no doubt. High level of concentration, and I would also say you need good kind of reactions and good head and body to react to different things quickly, because it's very reactive driving, I would imagine as well.
Frankie, what do you reckon to those?
Yeah, I agree.
Frankie's too good a sportsman because he's not thinking about the point he's on. He said, no, I don't need any of that. That's a terrible answer. And he could have got lots of scores. But unfortunately for Frankie in the points, it's 10 points for both of you there. So still that 7-point lead that Valtteri has when we leave round 3 and go into round 4. Round 4 is brought to you by Petronas Tutela, the official functional fluids for both Petronas Sepang Racing Team and Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One Team. And it's called The Hidden Heroes. This is where we ask contestants to go get something from their current location. So guys, you've got to get up and go find something. Can they find some hidden heroes? If you don't have the item requested, creativity comes into play. So this is, you can use the grey matter as well. Item number 1, I want you to go and get a piece of race kit or equipment, something you use for racing. Go. very slowly off the blocks there for Valtteri. Okay, Frankie gets 10 points for getting his race helmet, having it ready. Valtteri only gets 5 points. He did get a helmet, but he got up very slowly. He went the wrong way, and then he realized there was one behind him. So, yeah, so just 5 points for that. Next item I want you to get, and it's a bit of a curveball. It could be a bit of a curveball. You might have, there's some creativity could come into play here. I want you to get something to film video with, something to record moving pictures. Valtteri straight away gets his phone. Now Frankie's slipped up here because you're both being filmed at the moment, so you could have got the thing that's immediately in front of you. How you show that, I'm not quite sure, but Frankie's gone a long way. He's lost his phone. He's lost his phone.
Yeah.
Are you filming on your phone?
Mine was in the pocket, so.
I'm sorry. I take my girlfriend's one.
Ah, perfect. Perfect. Okay, Valtteri gets 10 points for that for straight away. Frankie will give you 5 points. And then finally, I want you to go and get something, anything from a vehicle. Car, motorbike, anything from a vehicle. Frankie, straight up. Valtteri, he's got too much stuff behind him. It's the famous steering wheel, which we can count the 25 buttons and see if that answer is right. So Valtteri gets 10 points for that. But I think he doesn't get 10 points. We'll give him 7 points because it's been too easy. For Frankie, that's impressive. Yeah. The steering wheel's good, but it was on the shelf behind you. Look, this is a bodywork. This is okay. That's perfect. So Frankie, we're going to give you 21 points for that. 21 points because subliminally that number came to me. So 21 points you get for that. That's the end of round 4. And if we look at the points, cheekily, by that round, the final section of that round, Frankie's jumped into the lead, now on 56 points. Valtteri, now you're the 7 points behind, 49. So round 4 is over. All to make up in round 5. Round 5 is called Keep Your Inner Cool, and it's brought to you by Petronas Syntium, the official engine oil used in the Mercedes-AMG F1 M11 EQ Performance Power Unit, the ICE element. Crucially, it's the final round, so all to play for, and plenty of points. We've got a bonus point pocket to give you more points up to grabs. We're going to ask contestants what three things you want to do once restrictions are fully lifted, so you can do anything in the world. Let's start with contestant number 1 first. Valtteri, what do you want to do when you can finally go out and do whatever you want?
Back to racing, for sure. That's one thing. At some point, maybe fly for some nice holiday. Change the scenery a bit. And what else? Win a race.
Perfect. So win a race. That's something we'd all love to see. So and everyone wants to go back racing. The only thing I've got to say is once racing is back on the agenda, I don't think there's going to be too much time for holidays for the rest of the year. So you might have to wait a bit of time. So, but let's give you 30 points. Good, strong final score. Now we go to Frankie. What things do you want to do once racing is back on the agenda?
Well, once racing is back, I would like to make a podium, at least. I would like to visit our other cities and try to roll around and go and roll around again free and enjoy freedom again. And after the podium, party with friends.
Okay, good answers, but you've only gone for the podium of your wish list. You could have gone for that #1 step. So I can't give you the same number of points as Valtteri. 25 points for you. So that means we have to add everything up and look where everyone is. Oh, very close, very close. And it looks like second place, first podium of the year. Valtteri, 79 points. Really close there, really close there. Frankie, you got it. It was that big score in round 4, 81 points. Congratulations, very well done. You win a bottle of Petronas Sprinter fully synthetic oil. All the better to keep your motorbike lubricated and performing at its peak. We know from a previous quiz you've told us you're not so great on bike maintenance yourself, but you know, with this bottle you can achieve great things.
I will try.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you. Very great to have you here with us, Valtteri. Thank you everybody for watching. We hope you all enjoyed it. Please give us your feedback online. We all do read your comments. Talking of next time, for the team, it's a John McPhee special with our Petronas Sprinter Racing Moto3 rider alongside his crew chief, Mark Woodidge, and mechanics Stephen Bradley and Keaton Hendrickson. Follow the team on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for all the latest news, and the same applies for Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team. Remember, keep a safe distance, keep washing those hands, and follow all the best practice advice in your country. Thank you to all our sponsors, and particular gratitude to all frontline workers everywhere. For Lockdown, we'll see you again at the same time on Friday next week. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.